Coworker is being pushy. How do I politely keep saying no to them? We're both trainees and have been assigned a task to do together. The thing is, our supervisor gave us a deadline for next Tuesday and told us to only do preliminary calculations, and not the whole thing. My coworker and I have already worked on the introduction part of the report and now split the calculations between us. But he wants us to get together outside of work to compare results and stuff and move on to the actual calculations. I told him I was unavailable and he said okay. But then, he brought it up again and said that we really need to advance with our work. The earlier the better. I reiterated that I wasn't available and he asked me what I was so busy with. I was tongue-tied at the spot and told him I'm going back to my mom's house. He said oh okay. Now I found a text from him saying we can have a Zoom call even if I'm over at my parents' house. And I don't know what to do. I'm feeling cornered by this person. How do I politely tell him just no? I'm not doing extra work for nothing and that I'm simply unavailable? If he asks why I can't do a Zoom call again, what do I tell him? Edit. Thank you everyone. I've sent him an email that basically says, I saw your text. That doesn't work for me. We'll discuss what to do on Monday. P.S. Please contact me on here instead of my phone from now so we can keep a clear conversation. Trail. My stomach is still tied in knots until now after sending it, but I'll get over it, thank you. 3 techniques for being assertive and setting a boundary when you want to say no politely. 1. Broken record. Say what you want, repeatedly, with no explanation, excuse, reason. Him. Let's meet up after work to do this. You. I'm not available outside of work hours. Him. Why not you? I'm just not available after work. See ya tomorrow. 2. Empathy assertion. Say something empathetic. State your position, your boundary. Offer an alternative. Him. Let's meet up after work. You. I know you want to do well on this report. Empathy. But I'm not available outside of work hours. Boundary. Let's work on it first thing Monday. Alternative. 3. If he's super pushy, you can use a consequence assertion. This is where you say your position, boundary, and then the consequence if he keeps pushing you. Like I said, I'm not available outside of work hours. If that's not okay with you, then I'll talk to our supervisor on finding another way to get this project done that works for both of us. Just tell him, that doesn't work for me. I'll see you on Monday, and stop replying. Is it possible this coworker is interested in you and trying to use work as an excuse to get together or talk outside of work? And look over your shoulder while you're typing so you can work together on it? In my experience, some men don't think your boundaries are relevant if they're pursuing you. That courting includes steamrolling your personal time and space. Doesn't really change the advice. Strong boundaries. Direct communication. Unapologetically honoring your own needs. Don't let him make you feel bad, guilty. You don't need his permission or agreement for your boundaries. Tell him your hours at work are for this, that you won't be answering further. Then turn off notifications for the weekend. He's asked you this many times and you didn't say, I don't work off the clock? Just be clear about it. You haven't actually said no to the task. You keep kicking the can down the road. Maybe look up askers versus guessers. Let him know you want the Monday check-in before moving on. Be more direct. Oh, I see you want to be polite. Polite rarely works on pushy people, but you can point out that you work together, not live together. You do not owe him any explanations. It seems obvious that he wants to brown-nose the boss and wants to use you to do it. It would not even surprise me if he went behind your back with your work and claimed it as his own. Keep your eye on this guy. He could be trouble. You need to learn to follow orders before you can give them. That is the first step in becoming a leader. Point that out to him. How does he have your private number? Advice: don't give colleagues your personal number. If you didn't, then how he got it is as creep AF, and you need to report him to HR. Why has he got your number, and why is he able to zoom you out of work? Maybe it's my age, but I won't put my work email on my personal phone and absolutely won't have any communication with work colleagues outside the office. They are people I am forced to spend 8 hours a day with. They are not friends. Block his number. You don't need it. You can talk to him in work. You don't need to talk to him out of work. No is a complete sentence. No. Since others have given you great advice on how to respond to this instance, and you seem to be good at recognizing your desired boundaries, my broader advice is to be careful, strategic at the least, in where you go, above and beyond, at work. Because taking on new tasks, or working on the weekends, can become an expectation rather than you going the extra mile, very quickly. https://www.youtube.com/shorts/kw0ocjxp1u8. He is not your boss, manager, or supervisor. Even if he was, you still would be under no obligation to tell him the what and whys of your private life. If he asks again, just say no. If he asks why not, simply say that no is a complete sentence. If he presses again, say stop asking me. I will not meet you outside of work. Let's focus and get this done on the job. https://www.youtube.com/shorts/jpblcna7mq. We were tasked with only the preliminary calculations and told not continue beyond that until we get the go-ahead. Then we should not proceed. If you want to compare our preliminary calculations, we can do that on Monday. Sometimes you have to be very blunt for people to get the MSG. Tell him once that after work is your time not to work. Remind him he probably doesn't want to start his career with a complaint to HR about harassing other employees. And maybe record the conversation when you tell him this so you have proof if he reacts badly. Or have a witness nearby. The expectation from your boss wasn't to work outside of normal hours. You're too young to accept this. Work at work. The end. He can email you. You're completely in the right, and I'd maybe tell your manager. He may sabotage the project and say you weren't cooperating. Make sure you send suggestions for meeting times via email and follow up that way. And if he keeps being pushy, I'm running out of ways to politely tell you no. Although, judging from your post, this one might be a bit too spicy for you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.